Oh, please start this show, will ya? Yeah. I don't care what the peoples are thinking. I ain't drunk. I just drinking. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Crease of Tommy C. Nobody's in my crease today. It's just you and me. And I hope somebody calls the phone number tonight because I made another effort to fix this problem. So when I talk about Brian Burke, because there's not a hell of a lot that happened in hockey last night, I'll give a little speech. And I will love to take your calls, whether it would be in Discord or on this phone number here right below. Because I got to be honest with you, if this doesn't work for both In the Crease and Shot from the Point dead tonight, I'm done with this number. I'm getting a new service. I'm done with it. I'm finished. So. Brian Burke, you hear a lot of rumors about Dougie Hamilton getting traded, that he's not over with management, that everybody's like really pissed at him over there in Calgary. We've been hearing that, I want to say, since training camp. Is that right? Do I have that right? I'm thinking since like training camp, that he was not very popular in the locker room or with management. But today, Brian Burke, formerly of the Toronto Maple Leafs, he's the current president of the Calgary Flames. He wanted to put all of this shit to rest. To bed. Go to sleep. And he had a lot to say. The big quote of the day was, we're not moving him. And the next time you have that idea, stupid, save the quarter. Don't go to the payphone, said Mr. Brian Burke. Burke went on to say, it's also frustrating when you have to deal with leaks. Wait a minute. It's not true? But you have to deal with leaks? Who knew? As soon as one of the teams that's in the mix with the leaks is the Toronto Maple Leafs, now it's an army of leakers, an army of people that have no goddamn idea what they're talking about, who will happily go on and say the Toronto Maple Leafs are in on this and doing that. Now, of course, Brian was the former president. Bad news. Bad. Oh, no, I don't know that this doesn't work. Yeah, the phone number looks like it's working fine. Great news. Phone number looks like it's working so far. And I will take your calls after I give my little speech. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign, folks. Very good sign. Well, here's the thing. If the Dougie Hamilton trade rumors are BS, and I'm tell you something, they're becoming fast and furious since day one, then why is it leaks that are the problem, or the Toronto media? Burke refused to mention who leaked the rumor about Hamilton. Well, I got a problem here. If they're not moving him, and there's no truth to this, then how could there be a leak? And how could you refuse to leak the source of the rumor? You're actually admitting that there is a source to this rumor. What the fuck? I mean, really? You can't have it both ways there, Brian Burke, who looks like a creepy Irish Catholic priest. I got to be honest with you. When I look at Brian Burke, I think Catholic priest. I think creepy Catholic priest. He's got too much shit in his white hair. Holy shit. That's creepy. I mean, look at that thumbnail I made. So what is it? Is Dougie Hamilton on his way out? Another thing with a weird quote is he's 6'5", he shoots to the right, and he skates like a deer. Well, I'm not Canadian, but I would think a deer skated pretty shitty. That's just me. And what do I know? I'm just a douchebag with a hockey channel, a new hockey channel that just passed 500 subs, by the way, in about 24 hours. Ha ha! It took me over a year and a half to hit 100 subs, but this channel passed 100. So, well, that's another story altogether. So, what's the deal? Skates like a deer. You skate like a deer? I don't know. I don't think deer skate well. I think there's some truth to this rumor. I'm going to give the reporters a break. Dead on Dave's in there right now. For shit. Am I wrong, Dead on Dave? I think the media is right. I think they want to get rid of Dougie Hamilton. I just assume this is true. And the reason I thought this rumor was true is just the veracity of this rumor. The veracity. A lot of people really bought into this. I was one of them. Usually, if you have one off trade rumor, like from one corner of the internet and one blog, you can dismiss it. But when you're seeing it on Puck Daddy and this blog and that blog and that blog and the New York Post and blah, blah, there's probably some truth to it. In my experience. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed. I don't know why getting rid of Dougie Hamilton is going to help the Calgary Flames. I can't see it. Pure Boustine is like, this is the guy that brought in Phaneuf. That's a very good point. That's an incredible point. Tommy broke the currently broken YouTube 500 subs. Yeah, the only people that don't lose subs are guys that start new channels. Frenchie Ben is online, and I want to put him online. Yes, I do. He better pick up. You know how much I love the Frenchie Ben. You know how wonderful I feel he is. Hopefully, he will answer. He told me he could not be on the show today. Is Frenchie Ben with me?
Yes, I am.
All right. I am glad you are with me, sir. I need you on this one. Did you see the opening of the show?
No, I just come back from the grocery.
All right. Not a lot of stuff today, but the only thing I found mildly interesting, Frenchie Ben, was Brian Burke.
And I listened to Brian Burke on Toronto radio.
I see. That's the thing. I can't get the clip because I heard the clip was as funny as hell. But I'm thinking if Puck Daddy didn't play the kit, they're afraid of copyright stuff. So I would be wise to not play the clip as well. But you heard the clip. Tell me what's happening.
Oh, Brian Burke, when he does interviews, especially in Toronto, he's always entertaining because he has some grudges with a couple of journalists.
Does he? Is he Irish?
Oh, yeah.
And he has trouble with journalists? How could that be, Frenchie Ben? But go ahead.
I really don't know. I'm baffled by it.
Baffled. Perfect choice of words. But
at the same time, because he says he's wiser, he's not going to name the team that made the offer. Because the thing is, he said that a team contacted them to make an offer. But he said that the offer was so bad that the team could save the quarter the next time.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm not getting this story correct then.
I don't know because I haven't seen.
I got to be honest. I'm reading this differently. I'm reading that he's being a little hypocritical there because I didn't really understand that. So there is a rumor. He's admitting to the rumor, but he's saying he's not getting rid of Hamilton. So what Burke is saying is he got an offer. He turned it down because it was ridiculous, and for some reason this rumor leaked and made it a legitimate trade rumor, and it maybe is affecting Dougie Hamilton on the ice. Which how couldn't it? I mean. It's weird when you don't know where you're going to live the next day. So this was his way to kind of put the kibosh on it. Is that what you're saying, Frenchie Ben? Maybe I'm. Thank God you came on, by the way, because I'm terribly drunk.
Oh yeah, you're drunk. Okay, but no, it's just that Brian Burke was mad because he knows the Toronto market and that rumors starts from there and they blow up. So so he was mad because. In this case, he presented it like the team doesn't want to trade Dougie Hamilton, but they will listen to offers. But
he skates like a deer. He skates like a deer, Frenchie Ben.
That's what he said, yeah.
He skates like a deer.
Meaning that he skates like Bobby Orr.
Yeah, let me ask you something. I'm a very city boy. I grew up 30 minutes out of Manhattan. I'm a Jersey kid. How do deer skate better than they do in America, in Canada?
I think so, because they begin skating at 3, and but that's the thing with Burke. He said, of course, we're not going to trade Dougie Hamilton because we gave lots of assets and money to the guy, and he's good, he's talented, he's 6'5", 230. But at the same time, he said, of course, if somebody offers us a 21st round choice, we're going to listen.
Sure.
And the rumor is that he didn't name the team, but that I think it's Dreger that said it, that the team that made the offer is Arizona, and they offered Anthony Duclair and a draft choice.
Duclair? I don't know, like... Yeah, but see, like, the problem with getting rid of Duclair is first of all, that's not an unreasonable trade. The problem is it leaves Calgary with such a hole on defense that they can't... Anthony Duclair is a really talented player. I still can't understand to this day why the Rangers got rid of him. He made the team, and next thing you know, he was in the World Juniors, won it, and the Rangers got rid of him, and no one even talked about it. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a good beginning of the season. He doesn't produce as much as last year, and maybe there's a temper issue. Or
I do wonder about
there.
Anthony Duclair being an asshole. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I've always been suspicious of that from the very beginning. Why did the Rangers look? Can we both agree that Duclair's a talented guy? A talented hockey player? Yeah. I just don't understand, Frenchie Ben, why the Rangers, like, I've never seen, the Rangers will take drug addicts, they'll take washed up stars, and they got rid of Anthony Duclair at like 20 years old. I don't understand that. I'm a little confused to this day. That's the thing. Well, anyway, do you remember, and I was thinking of Harrison Mooney, formerly of Puck Daddy and the Vancouver Sun, right? And do you remember when Mr. Brian Burke sued some YouTube commenters about 3 years ago? I think it was before Jeff, because me and Jake had a blast with this. It was before you called, but we got to listen to Harrison Mooney talk about the great Pooner Man. Yes, Pooner Man. Pooner Man and a bunch of other rascals said mean things about Brian Burke, and he sued these like YouTube commenters, these internet commenters. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. I'm not kidding.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Was it about his son? Was it comments about his son or something like that? His hair?
I think it was his hair. His hair is crazy. I think it was a comment that he was cheating on his wife, if I remember, or he was a crazy type of guy. You know, like he was acting like a Kennedy, even though he kind of looks like a Kennedy, to be honest with you.
He's a special cat, that's for sure.
But here's the thing, Frenchie Ben. I am going to show you this wonderful video by Harrison Mooney, because I'm not kidding. Brian Burke, whenever I hear Brian Burke, I just think of Pooner Man. And Pooner Man is an interesting person. So I think we're going to watch part of Harrison Mooney's wonderful video on Pooner Man, the man that Brian Burke sued for saying mean things about him on the internet. I think you're going to really enjoy this. We can't watch it all because of fair use, but you're going to love this. Hopefully you love this as much as me and Jake did. Here we go. Are you watching it on Skype?
Yep.
Here we go. Pooner Man.
Pooner Man.
Pooner Man. Oh, by the way, you're French. You know what pooner? You know what poon means?
It's like poontang.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. What's much?
I mean, it's a tale as old as time. You know, a man doesn't like what somebody says about him on the internet. Brian Burke, former general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, winds up suing these usernames, guys like, you know, Sir_Psycho_Sexy, and my personal favorite, Pooner Man. We had a lot of success with Call the Union. Maybe it's time to do another parody song focusing around Pooner Man.
My Pooner Man's a bit of a creep. He's the dirtiest creep I know. You got a lot of
I mean, hockey doesn't give you a lot of opportunities to make art.
Online there were rumors of me. Now I'm soon a Pooner man. Pooner man loves a woman.
Yeah, I mean, Pooner Man's in there, so.
I literally have no idea who any of the people in these songs are.
If you believe that Pooner man's getting sued, Pooner man's sued. If you believe that Brian Burke is peeved and nothing is true. Yeah, right?
Oh, there's the great Harrison Mooney.
I was about to say, if you believe, we put a man on the moon.
Oh, God, man.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was good. We did have Harrison on in 2014, about a year after that video was made. I was always a big fan of Harrison, even though I'm sworn enemies with Puck Daddy, which, by the way, I've had so many wars since Puck Daddy, I don't feel at war with them anymore. Isn't that strange?
Maybe because you won?
No, I didn't really win at all, actually. I just had to move on to other things because I couldn't beat them.
That's good. You know when to stop.
When to take the L. Yeah, send that over to Illinois. And that might help a certain person we know. Yeah, sure.
By the way, you didn't lose, but I listened to the Zoe Burger Baited podcast, and it's really good.
You do really like it. I'm getting tons of criticism and tons of terrible reviews. Isn't that
it's a good show.
That's what I thought would carry it. I might talk with you with this afterwards. All right, we're done with Brian Burke, who's a silly man. It's
a special cat who skates like a deer.
Yeah, he certainly does. Let's see. I don't really have a hell of a lot besides that. I got to be honest with you. The only thing is, did you see the Islanders had a 3-0 lead on the Stanley Cup champions? Blew it, but managed to tuck it in at the end. Anders Lee on the Wednesday, at least the American version of Hockey Night in Canada, Wednesday Night Rivalry. Why are the Islanders and the Penguins rivals? I don't understand that. Did they really go back to 1993 and talk about Glenn Healy taking them over Mario and Jágr and going to the Eastern Conference Final and, I don't know, losing?
I think it goes up to there.
Yeah, that's about where that rivalry begins and ends. An upset for, what was that, 93? For they knocked the Stanley Cup champs out. And there were some good players in that team. I think Paul Coffey was on that team, if I'm not mistaken. Ulf Samuelsson.
I don't remember, but it's the year that Dale Hunter broke Pierre Turgeon's shoulder.
Which is probably the most disgusting incident I've ever seen in hockey to this day. I'm glad you brought that up. Dale Hunter ruined, in my opinion, Pierre Turgeon's career. He was never the same after that.
He was different.
He was different.
It's one of the bad hits. Of course, there's McSorley, Chris Simon, things like that.
But that, I mean, you're talking to a Ranger fan here. I remember how angry I was when I saw that hit, and how nutty it was. And I remember also thinking, like the year before, when Adam Graves slashed Mario Lemieux, and how the media made such a big deal about it, and they made Adam Graves out to be this dirty player that he wasn't. No. But the Pittsburgh locker room took that. They took that, like they slashed Mario, right? And Jágr became Jágr that year, in 1992, and dragged them to the finals. And then Mario came back with his broken-ass wrist, beat the Chicago Blackhawks, won 2 Stanley Cups back-to-back. And we're talking about a Stanley Cup team that was actually backed into the playoffs in the Patrick Division. They actually almost didn't make the playoffs. It was a strange thing. That's when I learned about hockey, that when Stanley Cup teams back into the playoffs, they're dangerous. Best example would be the Detroit Red Wings. They're always competitive. They're always good.
And I'm not with you about the Pens this year, but I know that you think they're going to make
They're gonna win
again.
They're gonna run through everybody.
They
Including my
might.
team.
They have the
Including
team
my
to do
team,
it.
including yours. I got to be honest with you. I think they're just going to get better as time goes on. Crosby's a different guy, dude. I mean, what makes you think that they're not going to go through?
Just because it's tough. Historically, teams that win the cup, they have even a tough time to make the playoffs the year after. So, but you might be right. They have
Crosby
the
looks
talent.
like-
They have the elements.
Crosby doesn't look like he's missing a beat, though, bro.
Yeah, and
really
he
doesn't.
started this year right away, not like last year.
Why doesn't Tommy talk about my team, the Kings? Actually, I did the other day. Pizza Taco. I think your team, with their 4-1 loss yesterday, which, by the way, I watched the second and third period because when my kid woke me up, it was still on. I think you guys have seen better days. And I think the party's over in Los Angeles. Would you agree
Yeah,
with me?
maybe they're not as strong as they were, but they're going up right now because Budai is playing.
Budai
great.
has done a great job. I don't think it's enough, and I think this team will struggle to make the playoffs. Budai's shit. I'm not. He's throwing up Vezina numbers, but
Yep.
he really is. I'm not even exaggerating. Not even a little bit.
But speaking of numbers and trophies, things like that, one of the guys who was named Rookie of the Month is Zach Werenski, the defenseman in Columbus. And
Yeah.
I have him in the fantasy league, and I took him because
You're smart.
I knew he was.
Yeah.
Nobody knew him really, but and even me.
Yeah.
But you know that guy is.
Do you
scary.
think you're going to win the fantasy league 2 years in a row? I mean, you're already kicking ass.
I want to make it. I'm not sure.
You'll be the
Everything
first
goes
back-to-back
well right
champion.
now.
You
but we'll
you
see.
will be because the Kings suck. Go Hawks. Do you realize that you will make it back-to-back years? You'll be the first guy to do our fantasy league and be back-to-back champion.
Oh, I'm gonna try to make it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Dead on Dave is it doesn't even Dead on Dave's so good at fantasy sports that it doesn't even
Yep.
matter what sport it is. You know.
That's right.
Yeah, and so and he got a terrible draw last year and then ended up with you in the semifinals, if I'm not corrected. If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, because he was rolling his team super greatly last year. This year, as you said, he had a better draft, and
Yeah.
he's playing good. He's a quick learner, that guy.
Dead on Dave. Certainly dead on Dave. Certainly dead on Dave is a quick learner.
And Debbie, she had a great start. Who's okay? Matt Kazar, he's doing good. And
Yeah, we haven't
Jeff,
heard. Have you heard
Jeff
from
also?
Matt? Have you heard from Matt at all? I haven't.
I spoke to
him a while.
Matt maybe 2 weeks ago.
I haven't talked to Matt in over a month. Yeah, we got to get him back on here, right?
Yeah, it would be fun to see him. I think I spoke to him a Saturday night during a hockey game. He was in school, and we chatted on
Do you
Skype.
speak French or you speak English? Just out of interest.
It's bizarre because sometimes I speak English and he speaks to me in French.
Oh, that's weird because he feels obligated to speak to you in French.
Oh, we practice.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool. That's okay. That's very, very cool.
And he's way better in French than we.
Then
we
he
say
says
it
so.
is. Oh yeah.
He loves being the lovable loser. You know, it is. All right,
Another bright
headlines.
guy.
I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish this up there, Frenchie Ben. Headlines in National Hockey League. Some sad news, of course. Craig Anderson of the Ottawa Senators. He is taking some serious time off, officially taking leave with the NHL to be with his wife. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm not good with this kind of stuff, but all the best from this channel and
Yes.
the Shot from the Point team to Craig Anderson and his beautiful wife. There's no other way to put it, man. I mean, it's tough. This cancer stuff. It happens to hockey players too. It happens to
Yeah,
everybody.
because you might have money. If you don't have health, you have almost nothing.
Yeah, sad stuff. Absolutely sad stuff. The New York Rangers are the most valuable NHL hockey team again, according to Forbes magazine. Again. What do you think of that, Frenchie Ben? You're welcome.
The NHL is slowly growing, and Toronto, I think, is number 3.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, well, they actually put us some money. So, like, everybody, like the Habs, Boston, New York, probably Montreal a little bit. We pay for all your players if you don't root for an original 6 team. You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, we pay for the firing of Gerard Gallant.
Are they still pissed off about that up there? And
No, in here they talk about the game, the MLS soccer game yesterday between Toronto and Montreal. And you know what?
What?
I said that Toronto is the worst sports city in the world, and I think it's changing.
Oh, really? Why? What happened?
Because in baseball, they have good teams since a couple of years.
That's true.
In
Who
hockey,
is
in 2 or 3 years, they're going to be a force.
Maybe.
And in soccer, they make the MLS finals for the first time.
Oh, really? Congratulations. What's the name of their team?
The Toronto FC.
Oh, Toronto FC. You know, it's funny. They should be called Toronto FC because there was a team that was in the NHL just called Toronto, not the Maple Leafs, before it was like the original 6. You know, watch Keith Overman's rant on the original 6 on YouTube. It's really, really good. And you'll find out that Toronto Maple Leafs were one time called Toronto. That was it. It's true. And Frenchie Ben knows I'm right. Frenchie knows right. Last night in the National Hockey League, Islanders blow a 3-0 lead versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. Anders Lee, he saves the day with a big redirect. 26.6 seconds left. Wednesday night rivalry. I don't know why it was a Wednesday night rivalry, but the Islanders win that 5-3. They also broke a record right after Anders Lee's goal. They had a face-off of center ice, dropped the defenseman. I can't remember who it is. I didn't write it down. But it's tied the quickest 2 goals in NHL history. Do you believe that?
Wow.
The quickest 2 goals in NHL history happened last night. And you know what's crazy? The Flames scored 2 goals late in the second. I forget what it was late in the second, and they struck real quick. Chad Johnson, the Calgary player, he made 39 saves. He should have to leave 2-0. There's a lot of quick strikes last night, 2 goals back to back, ba-bam, ba-bam. You know, it was a crazy night last night. And the Flames win 3-0. Hey, listen, is everybody over Mr. Austin Matthews over there? Newsflash. The Toronto Maple Leafs aren't winning hockey games. Has anybody noticed over there? Or are they just still looking at Matthews' letters on the back of his Toronto Maple Leafs jersey? I'm asking you.
No, at first, at the start of the season, they were all about Austin Matthews, and now at times they speak about their goalies and maybe sometimes Nylander or Mitch Marner.
Mm-hmm. Mitch Marner. Oh, okay.
Because he has a great season, and Nylander, he shows flashes. Austin Matthews is still having an all-around great game.
All right. If you say so, I'll trust you, Frenchie Ben. Because Logan Couture, he had 2 goals last night in a 4-1 victory over the LA Kings. Why am I rooting against the Kings? I can't figure out why. I don't have any problems with the Kings. I can't figure out why I don't like the Kings anymore.
You're terrible.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you might be right about that. Tonight in the National Hockey League, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bruins host the Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah. Team the Rangers probably should have lost to the other night. And speaking of the New York Rangers, they take on the Sabres in Buffalo, New York. The New York Islanders, they are in... What's that?
Chia.
Oh, yeah, Jack Eichel's back. You know what I found out? Eichel means... Check this out. Eichel means acorn in German. He has a German last name, and I didn't even know that.
Okay.
Leachman hooked me up with that. He's the
good.
one that told me about that. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Because shot from the point is international.
That's the truth. I tell it to the youth. Ask Dr. Ruth. You're absolutely right. Islanders, they go to our nation's capital, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Dallas Stars, they're in Pittsburgh, take on the Pens. Pens been getting, it seems like they're playing every other night. Pittsburgh Penguins lost last night. They're taking on Dallas Stars, who they'll probably get a win over. That's my lock. Pens over Stars. 7 p.m.
It's a
Eastern Standard Time.
compressed schedule this year.
Yeah, it is a weird schedule. A lot of games at 7. That's true. Florida Panthers, they take on the Detroit Red Wings with their new manager. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Flyers at the same time. They're in Ottawa to take on the Senators. Edmonton Oilers, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're in Winnipeg to take on the Jets.
Wow.
Oilers, Jets.
McDavid against Line.
Yeah, they made a big deal about what's his face, Matthews, and this might be the bigger deal right here because very clearly that Line is the Calder. He's running away with the Calder. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
There's Zach Werenski.
Zach Werenski. Oh, how many goals he have?
Oh, he's the defenseman of Columbus that I told you before.
Yeah, but I mean, they're never gonna give it to a defenseman.
Look at him. If you see him this year, he's a special player.
Special player. All right, I'll take a French Ben Lightning. They're in St. Louis, take on the Blues. That's also 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. New Jersey Devils. They take on the Stanley Cup. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. They didn't win the Stanley Cup last year. The Chicago Blackhawks, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Kings, Yotes in Arizona. And the Blue Jackets, they'll take on the Avalanche, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the latest game we have is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. Ducks, Knuckleheads. And that's all we got there, Frenchie Ben. That's all we got, brother.
That's enough because we had everything with Pooner, man.
Yeah, we everything you could ever want, we had with the Pooner Man. Thank you very much for being here in the Crease Tommy C. This is the end of our. Wait a minute, is it Wednesday?
No, we are Thursday.
It's Thursday. This is the end of our broadcast.
You're drunk?
Yeah, I'm pretty drunk. Yeah, that's true. And I gotta pee really, really bad. And you know what happens when I have to pee really, really bad?
No, I don't know.
I gotta get out of my crease, brother.